And welcome back, Pokemon trainers and fans. This is your host, Professor Pine, bringing you another installment of the Pokemon Fight Club Tuesday morning. Let's get right into this. And our first matchup is going to feature Qwilfish, a water poison type featuring Sludge Bomb, Hydro Pump, Pin Missile, and Minimize. And its opponent will be Geodude, Rock Ground type featuring Earthquake, Rollout, Explosion, and Defense Curl. The Pokemon are ready. Let's head back down to the battlefield. Again, we are here at the Challenge Cup Stadium. And I tell you, if we could run this event on this kind of a field with a 5x5 grid, we'd be done a lot sooner. However, we have one system and one YouTube channel, so we've got what it takes here. All right, so the commands are being issued. Accidentally clicked the B button. So here we go. And for those of you that joined us during the server maintenance yesterday, welcome. Hope you enjoy. Hope you hit like. Hope you subscribe. All right, Qwilfish is going to go right for the guts here with a Hydro Pump. And it's a one-hit KO to start off the episode. Qwilfish is your winner. The huge type advantage over Geodude being water over rock and ground. And Qwilfish looks cross-eyed there. All right, so we'll be right back with the next the next battle. Next up, we have Bellsprout, the grass poison type, featuring Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Toxic, and Growth. And its opponent will be Omanyte, a rock water type, featuring Surf, Ancient Power, Blizzard, and Protect. The Pokemon are ready. Let's head back to the battlefield. Bellsprout with the advantage in this one, grass over both water and rock. Omanyte does have Blizzard behind it, so we'll see if that comes into play here. Oh, excuse me. Woo. Alright, so the commands are being issued here for turn number 1. And Bellsprout's got the priority. It's going to go right for Giga Drain. We could have 2 OHKO'S in a row here. Super effective. And we've got 2 one-hit KOs to start this episode. Bellsprout downing Omanyte on the first shot of the battle. Meowth joins us after all the excitement. Sorry, you missed the battle. But Bellsprout is your winner. That brings us to the next battle. Next up, we have Tentacool, the water poison type, featuring Surf, Sludge Bomb, Blizzard, and Screech. And its opponent will be Wooper, a water ground type, featuring Surf, Earthquake, Ice Punch, and Amnesia. The Pokemon are ready. Let's head back to the battlefield. No real type advantage in this one. However, Tentacool and Tentacruel both normally do pretty well in these tournaments. I'm willing to go with Tentacool here. Wooper with the ground typing has a little bit more of a diverse moveset, so we'll see. Alright, turn 1 coming at ya. Excuse me, it has been a long day already. So here we go, turn number 1, and Tentacool is going to go for a Sludge Bomb. Not very effective. Wooper's ground typing soaked that one right up. Here comes the ground typing from Wooper with Earthquake. And that's going to be super effective against Tentacool's poison typing. And it's a one-hit KO from Wooper. So Wooper decimates Tentacool and throws my prediction right out the window. That's 3 OHKO'S in a row to start this episode. We'll be right back. Next up, we have Persian, the evolved form of Meowth, a pure normal type with Headbutt, Bite, Roar, and Growl. And its opponent will be Krabby, the pure water type Pokemon, featuring Crabhammer, Strength, Blizzard, and Guillotine. The Pokemon are ready. Let's head back to the battlefield. So if Krabby can get the Guillotine here, the first 4 battles will have ended in OHKO'S. That's not to say Persian might not get a critical hit and take Krabby straight out. The last round, it was Krabby and Kingler, and they both had Guillotine. So it was a matter of, oh gosh, excuse me. It was a matter of who could get it done first, and Kingler was the one to get it done. Alright, so the commands are being issued. Here we go, turn number 1 of our 4th battle. Persian's going to lead things off with a Headbutt. So that's going to hit. That's going to do some decent damage. Krabby going for the Guillotine on turn 1. No, so finally we move to turn 2. in this episode. Krabby unable to connect on the Guillotine. So Persian going to lead off with Headbutt. That'll take Krabby down below half health. Krabby answering back with Blizzard. And it gets the freeze! So Krabby, not a one-hit KO, but it does get the freeze on Persian. And that just looks painful for Persian. So Krabby is looking pretty good here against Persian now that it's got the freeze. So as long as that ice doesn't unthaw, Krabby will be your winner. Krabby coming in with the Crab Hammer. That'll do some damage down to 160 for Persian. Persian's still frozen. It did not break the ice. Persian's still frozen solid. And here comes the Crab Hammer from Krabby. Being extra diligent not to break the ice. Down to 92 health for Persian. So it always seems really one-sided once there's a freeze, but we have to play it through just in case the ice does melt or if a Pokemon breaks the ice. So here comes Krabby with a Strength. And that will take out Persian. Krabby is your winner by freeze in this one. So the first three were knockout or one-hit KOs. The fourth battle wins by freeze. We'll see what the rest of these battle have. Battle number 5 coming up next. Next up, battle of 2 steel types. We have Skarmory, a flying steel type, featuring Steel Wing, Fly, Fury Attack, and Agility. And its opponent will be Forretress, the bug steel type, featuring Strength, Rollout, Sandstorm, and Spikes. The Pokemon are ready. Let's head back to the battlefield. I like Forretress in this one with the Rollout. Rocket should at least do some damage against the flying typing for Skarmory. So we'll see in this one. Skarmory, not a great move set to go against Forretress. However, Fly may impact its bug typing. So it's all a matter of seeing what exactly will do what. As you can see, Meowth is joining me once again. And Skarmory is going to get the priority. It's going to go up into the air, it looks like. It is. So it's going to be a Fly on turn 2. Forretress going with a Rollout on turn 1. That's going to miss and it's going to have to restart right from the beginning. So a wasted turn there, but we'll see if it's able to get something going. Here comes the Fly Attack. We'll see if that bug typing is going to hurt it. And it's a miss, so a free shot for Forretress. Forretress going with the Rollout. And barely any damage there. So Skarmory, not the way it wanted to start this battle, with a miss on Fly. So turn 3, it's going to go back up into the sky. And Forretress is going to miss on the Rollout, and that's going to restart again. So Forretress needs something here that can actually get some damage. Skarmory is going to go for a Fly here. And this time it hits, it brings Forretress down to 259. Forretress is going to start a Sandstorm, so that's going to be an excellent move. It's going to do damage just about every turn to Skarmory. Or at least it should. Excuse me. Alright, so commands are issued here, and Skarmory is going to go back up into the sky. It's going to continue using Fly. Here comes a Strength attack from Forretress. And nothing there. So Sandstorm Rages, that's not going to do any damage to Skarmory, it would appear. So Forretress might have its work cut out for it. Here comes the Fly Attack from Skarmory. That's going to do a little more than 50 damage. It looks like about 53 damage. So Forretress down to about a quarter health, about a third health. Here comes the Strength. Not very effective and not much damage, so Forretress not looking good here as Skarmory continues the aerial assault. If it continues going up in the air, Rollout's not going to do much of anything. Here comes a Steel Wing, and that's going to miss, so accuracy's issue here for Skarmory. Forretress answering with Strength. Going to hit, not much damage, only down to 229 out of 289. So needs to find some way to get things moving here against Skarmory. Skarmory going for a Steel Wing. Not very effective, does some damage down to 179. Forretress going with a rollout. So turn 1 hits, not much damage. Turn 2, Skarmory going with another Steel Wing. That's going to hit. That's going to bring Forretress down to 150. The physical defense has gone up on Skarmory. Forretress answering back with round 2 of rollout. Doesn't do much again, down to 185. Skarmory going with another Steel Wing. Appears to be doing the damage. It just wants to get this battle over with. That'll bring Forretress down to 122. Here comes the rollout again. A little bit more damage down to 134. And it looks like Skarmory's going to go ahead and stop the rollout here. It's going to fly up, so Forretress is going to miss this turn, so it's going to reset the rollout. That's not what Forretress really wanted. It was starting to make some good progress there. Skarmory tempted it a little bit, but ultimately it's not happening. So here comes the fly attack now. That's bringing Forretress down to 69. So now Forretress going to answer back with Strength. And that brings it down to 120. Only 14 damage from Strength. So that's a little unnerving for Forretress. These two have been going at it for a little while now. This has been the longest match of this episode. Not very effective with the Steel Wing, down to 42 health for Forretress. Strength coming to Skarmory. That's going to be a critical hit, but it only brings it down to 76. So Skarmory's just looking to end this battle. Forretress is looking to stay alive and try to win this shootout. Skarmory going with the Steel Wing here. That's going to hit, and Forretress hangs on with 15 health. Here comes a Strength again. A critical could do something. No, not very effective. 62 health on Skarmory. So this should be the last turn of this long marathon of a battle. So they have already made up for the time that the other 4 have done. And there it is. Skarmory is your winner by knockout. That was a marathon, folks. So Battle 5 made up for the time that the first 4 battles were able to cut with 3 OHKO'S and a freeze. So with that, we'll be right back. Next up, we have Ampharos, the fully evolved form of Mareep, a pure electric type with Zap Cannon, Dynamic Punch, Swift, and Flash. And its opponent will be Scyther, the bug flying type, featuring Wing Attack, Pursuit, Swift, and Focus Energy. The Pokemon ready, let's head back to the battlefield. So that was quite the duel between Skarmory and Forretress. Ultimately, Skarmory was able to take advantage of Fly and causing Forretress to miss the rollout. Made a little bit more of a battle when it started using Steel Wing. Just going to tempt Forretress, but ultimately it came away with the win. Alright, so here we go, turn number 1 of this one, and Scyther's going to get the priority with a Wing Attack. Not very effective, only does about 40 damage. Here comes a Zap Cannon from Ampharos, and that's going to miss. So Ampharos letting Scyther play around a little bit longer. I'm looking at Ampharos to win this one handedly. Scyther going with a Pursuit here on turn number 2. A critical hit, but again, not much damage. Ampharos going back to the Zap Cannon. That's going to hit. That's super effective. And a one-hit KO for Ampharos. Scyther goes down on turn 2 after 1 missed Zap Cannon and 1 that hit. So Ampharos is your winner. We've reached the halfway point of this video. Make sure to give it a like, comment below who you're cheering for, and hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. Now up, we have Cleffa, pure normal type featuring Headbutt, Psychic, Endure, and Sweet Kiss. And its opponent will be Larvitar, the rock ground type, featuring Rock Slide, Earthquake, Hyper Beam, and Swagger. The Pokemon are ready. Let's head back to the battlefield. And you'll have to excuse me, there is cat hair in my water cup, courtesy of Meowth. Alright, so the Pokemon are out. So, important note here is that Larvitar is not yet a Dark type, so Cleffa's Psychic will have some impact on Larvitar. Larvitar doesn't get its Dark typing until it evolves into Tyranitar. So Cleffa may have a little bit of an edge here over Larvitar. We'll just see. So Larvitar is going to get the priority. Here comes an Earthquake. And that's going to hit. And Cleffa hangs on with 115 health. Cleffa answering back with Psychic. That's going to hurt, but not much damage. So Larvitar well in control of this one. Wouldn't be surprised if it goes. It is. It's going to go for an Earthquake here, so this should end it. And it does on turn 2. So Larvitar quickly takes out Cleffa for the win. Cleffa's Psychic attack did not enough against Larvitar. It would have been completely useless if it did have its Dark typing, but c'est la vie. So Larvitar, your winner, will be right back. Next up, we have Machop, the pure fighting type, featuring Cross Chop, Seismic Toss, Earthquake, and Double Team. And its opponent will be Ninetails, the evolved form of Vulpix, pure fire type with Fire Blast, Quick Attack, Roar, and Safeguard. The Pokemon are ready. Let's head back to the battlefield for this one. So Machop's got a little bit of an edge here with the Earthquake. That should do some pretty serious damage to Ninetails. But since Machop is not a ground type, it won't be as effective, but effective nonetheless. So let's take a look at what we've got. This is obviously a much quicker episode with all the OHKO'S right up front. So here we go. Ninetails leading off with Fire Blast. So that's going to hit. And Machop's down to 108 already, so this may be a quick one. Machop going for the Earthquake here. That's going to be super effective. And Ninetails hangs on with 99 health, so already both Pokemon in danger. Next one to miss loses is what it would feel like. So here comes Ninetails with the Fire Blast. If this hits, this should win it. It hits a critical hit, and Machop goes down. Ninetails is your winner on turn 2 by knockout. So Machop goes down to 2 Fire Blasts. Ninetails hangs on from the Earthquake. Had Machop have some kind of ground typing, it probably would have OHKO'd Ninetails. But Ninetails is your winner. We'll be right back. Now up, we have Steelix, the evolved form of Onix, a steel ground type featuring Iron Tail, Mudslap, Rock Throw, and Sandstorm. And its opponent will be Quilava. Pure Fire type, the evolved form of Cyndaquil, featuring Fire Blast, Rollout, Strength, and Smokescreen. The Pokemon are ready. Let's head back to the battlefield. You just saw Meowth briefly. She was about to step on the keyboard, which would be a big no-no while I'm recording. So Steelix is out on the field. Steelix had a pretty bad disadvantage being a Steel type against Quilava's Fire typing. Well, let's see if Steelix's Ground type secondary can be a saving grace for it. So here we go. The commands are being issued. And Quilava will have the priority. It's going to go with a Fire Blast on turn 1. That's going to be super effective. And it's an OHKO. So OHKO number, I believe, 5? 5 OHKO'S in this episode? Holy cow. I know, it's exciting. So Quilava is your winner. No surprise. I thought the ground type you might have done something to stave it off, but no dice. We'll be right back. Next up, we've got Murkrow, the dark flying type, featuring Feint Attack, Fly, Nightshade, and Haze. And its opponent will be Hoothoot, a normal flying type, featuring Fly, Swift, Dream Eater, and Hypnosis. The Pokemon are ready. Let's head back to the battlefield. So already Murkrow, just by moveset, has the advantage, being that Hoothoot can't use Hypnosis or Dream Eater against Murkrow's dark typing. It'll have no effect whatsoever. So that cuts Hoothoot's moveset in half. Alright, so the commands are being issued. And here we go, turn number 1. Murkrow is going to launch a Nightshade. And And it doesn't affect Hoothoot. It's a ghost type move, and Hoothoot's part normal, so a Nightshade's not going to do much of anything here. So how's Murkrow going to respond? It's going to fly up into the sky, so Hoothoot's fly is going to miss. Which is weird, you think they would just go right at each other, but that is not the case at all. So Fly is going to endeavor here. Murkrow going to attack. And that'll do some good damage on Hoothoot. Hoothoot answering back with Swift, assuming it might have had the priority. So a good call there, but understand that it didn't have the priority may have just cost it a little bit. So here we go again. Murkrow going with a Fly. And Hoothoot's going to answer with Swift, so that will... I thought that would hit in the sky. Swift is never supposed to miss. So unless that was changed in Gen 2, which it could have been, and I might just be forgetting. So here we go. Murkrow on the Fly. A critical hit. And that takes out Hoothoot. So Murkrow handedly wins over Hoothoot on, I believe it was turn 4 or 5, one of them. But Murkrow is your winner over Hoothoot. We have 2 more battles to go. We'll be right back. Next up, we have Totodile, the water starter from Johto, featuring Surf, Blizzard, Slash, and Screech. And its opponent will be Ledian, the evolved form of Lady Bob, bug flying type, with Giga Drain, Dig, Hyper Beam, and Supersonic. Pokemon are ready. Let's head back to the battlefield. Whew. So yes, again, those of you who joined the YouTube channel during the server maintenance yesterday, thank you very much for just your views and checking out the channel. I hope those of you that stuck around enjoy what you see. And in case you're curious, again, this is a 28-week tournament. This is week 5. And after the 28 weeks is over, we'll go into a playoff. Okay, so Ledian on turn 1 with the Giga Drain. That's going to be super effective, does about quarter damage, so nothing to necessarily worry about for Totodile. Totodile is going to go right into a Blizzard. That's going to hit. That's super effective. That'll bring Ledian down by about a third. So shots fired on turn number 1. Ledian again with a priority. Here comes a Supersonic to land a Confusion on Totodile. And it will. So Totodile is going to have to fight through Confusion. Trying to get the attack off. And no, it's going to attack itself. So that brings it down almost a half health. So Ledian working a plan here to maybe get Totodile down further and further. Here comes a Giga Drain again to replenish some of its own health while sucking Totodile's. Super effective, brings Totodile down to 57 health. Ledian increases its health to 215. Totodile's going to fight the Confusion, gets off the Blizzard. That's going to be super effective, brings Ledian down to 110. Totodile still up against the ropes here. So an exciting match here. Could go either way. Ledian going with the Giga Drain again. This should end it. Super effective, and that will do it. Totodile goes down. Ledian doesn't quite get half of its health back, but Totodile goes down. It does get the victory, though, so congratulations to Ledian on a well-deserved victory. A very close battle, by all means. We'll be right back with the final battle of this episode. And finally, for this morning's episode, we have Drowzee, pure Psychic type, featuring Psychic, Headbutt, Dream Eater, and Hypnosis. And its opponent will be Dewgong, the Water Ice type, featuring Waterfall, Aurora Beam, Sleep Talk, and Rust. The Pokemon are ready. Let's head back to the battlefield. I like Drowzee in this one more because if Dewgong uses Rust, it can just use Dream Eater. And even then, if Drowzee gets off the Hypnosis, it can still use Dream Eater. So it's kind of a double-edged sword to use Rest here for Dewgong. It hasn't used it yet in this tournament, I don't believe. But here we go, turn number 1 of this final battle. We're going to finish this in record time. Dewgong with the Aurora Beam. That's going to hit not a whole lot of damage, takes Drowzee down to 242 and decreases its physical attack, so that's not necessarily a worry here. Here comes the Hypnosis from Drowzee. And that's going to hit, so Dewgong falls asleep. So we'll see if Drowzee's able to capitalize here. Dewgong fast asleep. And it's going to use Dream Eater here. So it should replenish all of its health. That's a good hit. Maybe not all of it, not quite. But it did manage to eat some of Dewgong's Dream. Dewgong fast asleep. It will use Sleep Talk and it's going to use Rest. So it's going to wake up, fall back asleep, and regain all of its health. Okay then. So Drowzee going with another Dream Eater. So that's going to take what it just recuperated, and now Drowzee's going to be at full health. So Drowzee knows that it's going to be at least a couple more turns. So Dewgong fast asleep. Sleep Talking is going to get off the Aurora Beam. And again, not much damage, only down to 242, so a little over 50 damage. Here comes the Dream Eater to replenish what it lost. That's going to bring it down to 191. And Drowzee's up to 278. So as long as Dewgong is still able to attack, it has a chance, but Drowzee is not making it easy. So Waterfall coming from Dewgong now. There's a little bit better damage, down to 201 on Drowzee. Drowzee going to answer back with another Dream Eater. That's going to bring Dewgong down to 112. So Dewgong will wake up this turn. And it's going to go right back to a rest. So it's going to fully replenish its health. Drowzee going with another Dream Eater, so there goes our record time. A critical hit with the Dream Eater. That's going to bring Dewgong down to 171. So this has turned into quite the battle here, back and forth with the Dream Eater and Rest. Dewgong, thankfully, with the Sleep Talk, it's going to get off another Aurora Beam. And that's going to be a critical hit, brings Drowzee down to 180. Drowzee with the Dream Eater. Drowzee has not been below half health this entire battle. Dewgong down to 90 health, so it's in danger here. So unless it wakes up and uses another rest, it may be in trouble. Dewgong's going to sleep through this one. Looks like it was trying to get another rest in. Dream Eater coming at it. And Dewgong hangs on with 11 health. So it may very well be over here for Dewgong. So Dewgong is going to wake up this turn. And it's going to go right back to sleep with Rest. So that'll regain all of its health. So this is going to go back and forth, folks. Here's a headbutt from Drowzee. Not much damage, but it was anticipating being able to get off at least another attack. Excuse me. So Dewgong fast asleep, going to go with another Sleep Talk, and it's going to rest again. So it's going to regain the health that it lost from the headbutt. So this could be a marathon, folks. Drowzee with another Dream Eater. That'll bring Dewgong down to 258. So, well, like I said, we were looking at a marathon or a record time to get these episodes done, but these two aren't going to let it go. Sleep Talk now for Dewgong. Here comes Waterfall. That's going to hit. That's going to bring Drowzee down to 225, so a lot of health being replenished here. Drowzee with the Dream Eater. And that'll bring Dewgong down to 184, almost replenishing itself up to 262. So Dewgong still hanging in there. Still fast asleep. Here comes Sleep Talk with an Aurora Beam. And that will hit. Drowzee down to 201 now. And its physical attack goes down again. Here comes another Dream Eater. They're both going to run out of hit points for these attacks at some point. Dewgong down to 112. Drowzee back up to 237. So Dewgong is hanging in there. Dewgong's going to wake up. It's going to use Sleep Talk, but that's going to fail since it just woke up. Drowzee's Dream Eater is also going to fail. So there's a miss. So both Pokemon trying to outlast the other. Here comes a waterfall from Dewgong. That's going to bring Drowzee down to 166. Drowzee's going with a Psychic attack here. That's going to hit, and Dewgong's down to 44 health. Now, does it risk going for another rest? It has plenty of hit points to do it, or does it just want to try to stay in the battle? No, it's going to rest. So it's going to regain its health back up to full. So Drowzee with the Psychic. That's going to bring it down to 272. Dream Eater's starting to get on the small side here. So Dewgong fast asleep. And it's going to use Sleep Talk with Waterfall. And that's going to hit. That's going to bring Drowzee down to 92 health. Drowzee's going to come back with Dream Eater. So we can only use Dream Eater 3 more times, and then that strategy is done. So Dewgong may still pull this one out if it's able to continue its plan. So here comes Dewgong again, fast asleep. It's going to Sleep Talk, and here comes another Aurora Beam. So that's going to hit. That's going to bring Drowzee down to 79 health. Drowzee with a Dream Eater. That's going to hit Dewgong. Oh, down to 46 health for Dewgong. Drowzee up to 150. One more hit of that Dream Eater, and it could be done. No more power points left for Sleep Talk. Dewgong's going to wake up this turn. And it's going to go back to sleep with a rest. So Sleep Talk is done. Drowzee's almost done with Dream Eater. So now they might actually have to attack each other a little more than just relying on sleep. Dream Eater's got one more shot to go. Sleep Talk, no hit points left. So Dewgong fast asleep still. Drowzee with the Dream Eater, no Sleep Talk, so Dewgong can't attack. There's the Dream Eater down to 181. Drowzee replenishes to 228. And Dream Eater is now out of power points. So no more replenishing health for Drowzee. Dewgong still asleep, no attack here. Drowzee's going in for a Psychic. That's going to hit, brings Dewgong down to 106. And Dewgong's going to wake up here. Going to go for a Waterfall. And that's going to hit. That's going to be Drowzee down to 156. Drowzee with a Psychic attack. This is now, I believe, the longest battle we've had in the tournament. Dewgong down to 35 health. Dewgong going back for another rest. It's going to replenish its health. And Drowzee cannot regain its own health, so that's going to hurt a little bit. Drowzee with the Psychic. That's going to bring Dewgong down to 264. Dewgong still asleep from its rest. Drowzee going for another Psychic. Trying to get a couple of crits here to get Dewgong out before it wakes up and uses rest again. And Psychic is starting to get low as well. Dewgong still sleeping through this turn. Drowzee going for another Psychic. Got 3 more left after this turn. but I mean Dewgong down to 122. So Dewgong's strategy apparently is just to keep replenishing its health as much as possible. Here comes a rest again, so it's going to regain its health. Drowzee down to 156. It's going to use a Psychic. Down to 269. 2 more shots for Psychic. So Dewgong apparently is working its plan. Just continuously resting. Here comes a Psychic again from Drowzee. That's going to hit. That's going to bring Dewgong down to 194. So if he uses Psychic, this will be the last one for this battle. And then it's got to rely on Headbutt. So Dewgong is going to sleep one more time. Here comes the Psychic. It's looking for a crit. No, Dewgong down to 128. Special Defense finally falls. Where was that 30 turns ago? So Dream Eater's out. Psychic is out. All that's left is Hypnosis and Headbutt. So Dewgong's going to wake up here. And it's going to get off a waterfall. Drowzee has no way to replenish its health now that Dream Eater has been exhausted. That's going to bring it down to 87 health. Drowzee with a Headbutt, looking for Paralysis. No, down to 104, so barely anything. Drowzee is in a little bit of a pinch here. And Dewgong is going to go for a rest. So it's going to regain all of its health back again. Drowzee down to 87 health. Here comes the Headbutt, and the Headbutt's not doing anything right now. That barely did 20 damage. So Drowzee looks like it's up against the wall. Dewgong has this one pretty much wrapped up. For a second there, it looked like Drowzee was going to get the win, but Dewgong smartly getting the rests in strategically, using up all of the Dream Eaters and Psychics of Drowzee. It did use up its own Sleep Talks, but looks like that was for the greater good here. Dewgong still fast asleep. Here comes the Headbutt from Drowzee. And still not a whole lot of damage. So for as long as this battle is gone, it doesn't look like Drowzee's going to get very many points off of this in the standings, regardless if it wins or loses. Dewgong's going to wake up here. Here comes the waterfall. That's going to hit, and Drowzee hangs on with 11 health. Drowzee coming in with a Headbutt, still looking for a Paralysis. Down to 251, nothing doing. And looks like we may finally be at the last attack of this battle, this marathon of a battle. Dewgong coming in with an Aurora Beam. And that'll do it. Finally, it is over. Dewgong's marathon is over. Gets the win over Drowzee. Very well deserved. Very well battled on both sides. Finally, that marathon is over. So that was it, ladies and gentlemen. That's this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Professor Pine. And until next time, please be safe, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take it easy, folks.